Welcome to the virtual worship service of the Unity Temple Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I'm so glad you're joining us for the bridging ceremony, the virtual bridging ceremony for our graduating seniors. How we all wish we could be inside Unity Temple for this significant rite of passage. But what makes our community is not our beloved buildings, but the relationships we have among us, that we cultivate in our congregational life, living out our most cherished values. Today's service is a culmination of not only months of preparation by our high school youth, but literally years of religious education. It is truly a blessing to gather together to hear from our youth who are bridging into adulthood.
Good morning. My name is Rich Pokorny, and I'm a member of the Board of Trustees at Unity Temple. I'm delighted to welcome you to our virtual service this morning on Mother's Day. If you are new to Unity Temple, we invite you to contact our membership director, Tina Lewis, to learn more about us. You can reach Tina at tlewis@unitytemple.org. Following the service, we invite you to join us at our virtual coffee hour so that you can connect with others. At Unity Temple, our values are connection, transformation, justice, and acceptance. Our mission is to welcome all, inspire compassion, nurture wonder, and serve community. You can learn more about us on our website, unitytemple.org. Thank you. May you find hope, encouragement, and meaning in today's service, and carry these with you throughout your week.
Now I invite you to light the chalice with us as we read our opening words for youth group. We come together in faith and hope to find what meaning life holds for us, to laugh and sing with one another, to soothe the wounds of daily life, and to come together in wisdom and love. Blessed be.
We come together this morning to rest for a moment and renew our spirits with our connection, to listen to voices of hope and faith and truth, and share in community, to be reminded of what is most important and know that we are not alone. Whoever you are, wherever you are on your life journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here. Come, let us worship together.
Regrets collect like old friends, here to relive your darkest moments. I can see no way, I can see no way. All of the ghouls come out to play, and every demon wants his pound of flesh. I like to keep some things to myself. I like to keep my issues drawn. It's always darkest before the dawn. And I've been a fool and I've been blind. I can never leave the past behind. I can see no way, I can see no way. I'm always dragging that horse around. All of his questions, such a mournful sound. Tonight I'm gonna bury that horse in the ground. I like to keep my issues strong. It's always darkest before the dawn. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Whoa, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Whoa, it's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake him off. Whoa, so I'm done with my graceless heart. So tonight I'm gonna cut it out and then restart. 'Cause I like to keep my issues strong. It's always darkest before the dawn. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Whoa, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Whoa, it's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake it off. Whoa, and it's hard to dance with the devil on your back. Give it up the chance, but I take any of it back. It's a fun romance, but it's left me so undone. It's always darkest before the dawn. Whoa, whoa, and I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. Sweets of drinks in the dark at the end of my road, and I'm ready to suffer. Ready to hope. The shot in the dark came right in my throat. Looking to heaven, found the devil in me. Looking for heaven, found the devil in me. What the hell? I'm gonna let it happen to me. Shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Whoa, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Whoa. Dance with the devil on your back, so shake it off. Oh, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Whoa, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Whoa, it's hard to dance with the devil on your back, so shake it off. Oh.
Hello, my name is Benjamin O'Connor, and I welcome you to join me in our covenant. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the divine. Thus do we covenant with each other and with God.
Each week, we hold a space for holding each other in our hearts and the prayers of the people. Who are you holding in your heart at this time? What prayers do you have? If you wish, you may share those in the live chat at this time, and I will share with what has been communicated with me. Several people let me know that on April 30th, Sparky Marco turned 90 years old. We wish him well as he enters his 10th decade of life. And this week, 2 years ago, his wife Joyce passed away. Sparky says that these 2 years could have been the most depressing time of his life. But because of the support of his son Dan and from members of this congregation, he feels cared for, and he is living with gratitude. Tom McCann shares that he, Sarah, and Sarah's daughter Erin are all on the mend from COVID-19, but that they have very little energy. They ask for prayers that they will increase their lung capacity and their energy will return. Janet Holden and Tom Barnes share that their daughter, Allie-Ann, has recovered from pneumonia and is returning to her painting. They ask for prayers that Allie-Ann and all those who have been ill may fully return with their energy. John Tandridge, who has been at Rush Oak Park Hospital for the last several weeks, wants everyone to know that he is in full possession of his mind, but that the therapies to wake up the right side of the body, which he lost after his stroke, that these therapies are coming along with his leg, but not yet his arm. And he hopes to be back teaching online this summer. And he asks for prayers and healing energy for his recovery. Joan Sukamil writes, "My mom, Dolores Sukamil, passed away on Saturday, May 2nd, at the age of 93. She was in a nursing home near Des Moines and had tested positive for COVID-19 earlier that week. My family are sad that we could not be with her and cannot yet be together to share our grief and to celebrate her life. Mom was a lovely and beloved person who always lived her life with the goal of getting to heaven when she passed. I have to think that whatever the afterlife might be, she's far exceeded the requisites for the blessings of eternal peace. Locally, the following people were reportedly killed during the days between May 1st and May 8th. Melinda Anderson, age 28. Jose Avila, 32. Eric Boyd, 34. Eric Chapman, 30. Malik Delphi, 22. Damian Duran, 16. Decurian Goodwin, 23. Damian Howard, 21. Dimitri Humes, 28. Robert Johnson, 44. Jose Moses, 23. Hamil Murphy, 22. Khalil Porter, 27. Rodrigo Rangel, 16. Robert Sims, 21. Junius Thurston, 33. And Armando Uribe, 18. May we keep their families and others touched by violence in our prayers. May we also pray for the perpetrators and the impact the violence will have on their lives as well. Finally, Mario Zepeda from Honduras, who lives with his children Belen and Stephen in a tent at the U.S. border in Matamoros, shares his gratitude for a generous donation that came from our community. He asks for prayers that COVID-19 won't debilitate the many people seeking asylum, and asks for prayers that he and his children will find a safe place to live.
Spirit of life and love, our hearts and minds are full this morning with all that life offers us. We are grateful for this moment, right here and right now, which reminds us that we are not alone, but connected to a community of love and healing. We are mindful today as we celebrate some of the young people among us, the great gift it is to help shape and be part of their lives as they grow and change and teach us again and again. We hold in our hearts and minds all those parents, mentors, friends, family, teachers, all those whom help to make us who we are, each in their own imperfect way. We offer thanks and forgiveness and witness to pain and joy and memory. We celebrate our high school seniors with joy and sorrow as we know this time is not all they dreamed it would be. And still, we will let go with open hearts and high hopes even as we wish to hold them tightly in our embrace. We send our healing wishes and love to our bruised and hurting world, to those who are sick and dying, and those who are helping sustain our minds and bodies and spirits. May each of us know that growth only comes with risks and mistakes, that we are more powerful than we know, and that we are held by an infinite love both this day and all our days. Amen. Blessed be.
for Our Children by Robert F. Kaufman. We wish for you a storm or two, that you may enjoy the calm. We wish for you tranquility in time of trial. We wish you a cool breeze on a warm day and pale white clouds, that you may better appreciate the blueness of the sky. We wish you darkness, that you may see the stars. We wish you anticipation of high adventure, and we wish you the courage to avoid battle. We wish you a sense of wonder and poetry and music. We wish you companionship, that you may appreciate solitude. We wish you a friend who will understand you, and understanding so that you may have a friend. We wish you may become all that you wish to be, and more than you hope you can be. We wish you a flower to smell, a hand to touch, a voice to cheer, a heart to gladden. And we wish you someone to love as we love you.
Good morning. My name is Justina Bickus, and I've worked with the youth here at Unity Temple since 2013. This past year, when Heather Godbout announced her retirement from the youth coordinator position, I was honored to be asked to take up the mantle. It is such a joy to work with the young people here, and I thought I would share a few words about why this work is important not only to myself, but to all of us. I grew up Unitarian Universalist, and it was when I was a youth that I formed some of the most meaningful relationships of my life. Profound connections to some of the closest people to me today. The nurturing community of youth ministry allows youth to build relationships with their peers, adult advisors, and also with themselves, sorting through difficult topics and huge life decisions. Speaking of adult advisors, I would like to thank the advising team we've had working with the youth this past year: Bill O'Connor, Alec Brownlow, Heather Godbout, and Levi Todd. Thank you. This youth service is an opportunity for the youth group to lead a service for the congregation, but most importantly, it is when we all say goodbye to our graduating seniors. We are here to honor the threshold in which these young adults now stand. We ask them to share with us a few words of reflection of their time here at Unity Temple and any life lessons that they bring with them into their future. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hello, I'm Joey Alvestad, and although I live in Elmhurst, I feel a great connection to our congregation. That's mostly because I've attended Unity Temple for as long as I can remember. My quest for spiritual truth and meaning has taken me all the way through RE, and I've been a summer RE counselor for many years. Back in middle school, I attended Camp Marwood, and then later on in high school, I had the opportunity to go to youth cons with our youth group. Through these experiences, I've gained not just a lot of practical knowledge and social skills, but I've also experienced firsthand the power of love. Seeing communities of my peers that only physically meet a couple times a year still have the same connections and loving spirit, that's a culture that's been on my mind a lot recently. I really do have hope, though, and I strive to take this sense of belonging with me wherever I may go. I gave my credo during not just a time of transition for me personally as I was entering high school, but also for the whole congregation, as I gave my credo from the pulpit of United Lutheran. Now, I'm bridging and transitioning out of high school at the same time that I attend e-learning, go to Zoom services and youth group meetings, and I'm recording my speech from the comfort of my own room. The whole world is really having to try things a little differently right now. It's a time of transition for us all. I believe that I survived high school by practicing UU values: respect for one another and the interdependent web of life, respect for everyone's own search for truth and meaning. It's really just doing the right thing. I think that's something that everyone can get behind. I have learned not just to return the love I get, but also love strangers, show love towards myself, and even those who don't show me love. Some of those things can be hard. Some of them are easy. But sticking to your values is something that's important to me. And this loving spirit that I've learned from Unitarian Universalism is something that I wish to take with me for the rest of my life and into the real world. Thank you. I love you all.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brooke Belmar, and I've been a member of Unity Temple all my life.
It's hard to imagine going to another church because this one has ingrained itself so firmly in my memory and my character. The people I've met and experiences I have gained in and or because of this community have shaped myself more than any other community I belong to. Performing at the church retreat and youth conferences have made me confident in my music. Youth group has made me confident in myself. This church has seen me grow out of my self-consciousness and into my skin. Here, I met some of my closest friends and confidants. As I leave this community, I bring the support of people who love me and will love me no matter how lost I get or how far I go in my search to discover myself. That is one of my favorite principles. The fourth, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. My truth is changing as I get older, and it doesn't always have meaning. I can interpret the world as I see it, no deeper and no shallower than I can swim. I can rely on this community to let me go and welcome me back, changed as I may be. These people connections are what influence how I live my life and how I will continue to live my life as I transition out of this community. Unity Temple has taught me to love people, no matter how far their shortcomings stretch or how persistently they grate on my nerves. I have learned to look farther than first thought when I meet someone and to wonder why my first thought is what it is. I hope that I'm forever grateful for the lessons I've learned here and the people that I've met. I hope that I can continue to live my UU values as I grow and learn more about the world. I take the people I love with me in my heart as I leave some of them behind and let some of them go to explore their own truths. I know that one day, be it next Christmas or years in the future, I will return to this church, changed, but still loved and still grateful to this community and all that it has gifted me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kevin Cawley. One of the most important lessons that I've learned here is stated after the chalice lighting. We are the church of the open minds, loving hearts, and helping hands. These three ideas are probably the most influential that I've been taught here and have constantly helped my education and understanding of the world. One of the main teachers of these lessons is the story for children of all ages, in which these three virtues are always explored in one form or another. A story about cultural foods in the kindergarten classroom, whose lesson was about having an open mind to other cultures and expanding your worldview, to someone who made their own game because no one wanted to play with them, whose lesson was empathy, perseverance, and acceptance. These stories and many others have helped lay the groundwork for my open mind and given me a broader perspective to see the world. It's helped me have a better outlook and make more friends by being more understanding. I believe that I have a more open mind and a more questioning mind because of UU and youth group. I try not to limit my ideas or perspective about issues and question the authority of arguments on most subjects. When I'm talking to someone, they tell me something that they deem as factual, I'll generally ask why they know that, to see if I can also accept it. I don't believe in absolute authority, and for the most part, and this is because UU has always been a place where you believe what you want to, not a place where you're told what to believe in. Questioning has never been discouraged, and this has helped me get a better understanding of my world and what I believe I know. Another key aspect I'll be taking forward with me is my idea and understanding of religion. As I said previously, you never said what to believe in, but welcomed all beliefs. This, along with my theory of knowledge class, has helped me to have a very broad definition of the term religion and what it does for you. Religion's pretty hard to find. I couldn't when I was asked, and I still have trouble. However, my class most aptly defined it as having a system of thoughts, having beliefs about the origin of the universe, nature, or life, having acts of devotion, a place of worship, and a culture of participants. This was a pretty broad definition, but the concept of religion and the amount of people from different cultures and backgrounds it appeals to is also extremely broad. One of the main things that I got from this conversation is what religion should do for you. Religion isn't something that should control your life, but it should be a sanctuary and a guiding tool when you're uncertain. Religion also is something that's not absolute to me, but something that I interpret and choose to follow as I see fit and understand it. My time here at Unity Temple has been pretty long, since my early memories in the kindergarten classroom till now, and I've grown a lot of ways over these years, and I plan to take these lessons with me as I go to college. I'm not perfect in any way, but I plan to carry on what I've learned here throughout my life.
Hello, my name is Connor Fox Deidelberg. I use they, them pronouns, and today, instead of giving a speech, I will be singing you a song. It's called Keeping Time by Angie McMahon. Done me harm. Ooh, I've done me harm. Ooh, I was sinking in to life like it was water. Always juggling something I could not afford to. Done me harm. I want the time to pass, so I'm speeding down the road. Oh, I want the time to pass, so I can move on and swallow this. God, I want the time to stop, so I don't have to grow old.
Since the beginning of middle school, I struggled with the idea of happiness. I was at a low point in my life, and I didn't really know what it was or what it meant to me, and I had no idea how to cultivate it in my life. When I first went to youth group, I was young and insecure. Anytime I had a penny or an eyelash to wish on, I would hope for things that were completely dictated by the norms of society. I thought that being better looking a certain way, being friends with popular people or people I thought of as cool, I thought those things would bring me happiness. But when I first entered youth group, I saw these amazing people who loved themselves and were passionate about everything they did. And throughout these past 3 years, I've learned that confidence, intelligence, and talent don't come in a specific shape or box. This community as a whole has helped me grow into a better person without the constraints of expectations. This winter, my dad and I went to the Christmas Eve service like we always do, and there was one quote that I immediately wrote down. Our prayers aren't always answered the way we want, but we can still believe in miracles. I spent so long throwing wishes into the universe, hoping for something big and magical to happen and bring me happiness, the happiness that I thought was real. That never happened, but it's okay, because that would never be true happiness from the inside out. The real miracle for me was all of the little moments with this congregation and this youth group that made me believe I was worthy of happiness exactly as I was and would be. 3 or 4 years ago, I never would have believed that I would be able to find happiness exactly as I am. That is why this youth group and this congregation are miraculous.
Hey everyone, my name is Nikki Bogey, and for my bridging speech, I'd just like to go over a timeline of my time at Unity Temple and the things that I've learned from this community. I hardly remember the first time I came to this church. I suppose my mom would have brought me for the first time one day, probably left me in daycare or some RA class for kindergartners. I hardly remember anything from those days. I do remember that I never really wanted to come to church in the first place. Once I was there, the only thing I looked forward to was coffee hour at the end, and I was oh so disappointed when the big kids had gotten there first and gotten all the good stuff. My memory starts to improve as I get older. The next thing I remember is 8th grade OWL, which took place over at the old church offices on South Boulevard. I learned a lot during that year, mostly practical stuff about consent and healthy relationships, but I also got closer with the other church kids, formerly known as my competitors for coffee hour snacks. Throughout the year, we laughed together and we learned together. I consider that year a particularly formative time for me, not just in terms of my attendance at church, but for my life as a whole. I didn't just come for the snacks anymore. I had friends who I genuinely enjoyed spending time with. Through the church, I was lucky enough to attend Marwood during the summer for a period of 4 years. There's something about being confined in the same cabin as a group of peers for a full week that just brings you closer. The anticipation I felt before every week and the bittersweet feeling I had at the end has yet to be matched by another experience in my life. I still talk to some of my friends from my year, and I am incredibly thankful to have been able to be a part of that community. The relationships I formed there have had and continue to have a very positive impact on my life. Plus, the food was excellent. After Marwood, and after coming of age, I joined the youth group. Whereas OWL and Marwood had been chaotic, intense sources of connection, I found the youth group to be a more steady, reliable, and accessible place to come to and experience a welcoming community. We discussed important ideas and concepts ranging from spirituality to ways of dealing with stress. While the discussions and the ideas were insightful and practical, I feel as though the content of the discussions were less important than the discussions themselves. Through these talks with my peers and with our wonderful advisors, I've learned a lot about what it means to be a UU. I've learned about love, welcoming, and caring for the spirit, among other things. But the ideas have been less valuable to me than the lessons I've learned through my experience. I've learned about the importance of commitment, how to build healthy relationships, how to escape my comfort zone, how to find my values, and how to follow them. I will admit that I don't know how much of a role UUism will play in my life as I move into adulthood, but I am sure that the things I learned here will stay with me for the rest of my life. I'm incredibly grateful to this congregation for providing me a place to grow into myself, and I am content knowing that in the future, I will still be able to rely on the friends I made here and the community as a whole. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Colin Waco, and I use he, him pronouns. It feels surreal writing this speech. I've seen so many older kids who are about to go off to college and enter the real world share their wisdom and go on into adulthood. Now that I'm in their shoes, I don't feel like this big kid who's becoming an adult. I still feel like that little kid rushing into coffee hour, ready to disobey that 1 cookie per person limit. I still feel like that little kid playing dreidel for chocolate coins in the teeny tiny colorful plastic chairs in the RE rooms. I still feel like that little kid who ran all around the sanctuary and threw paper planes off the balcony and walked along the outside of the church as if it was a balance beam. While I still feel like that little kid, I'd like to say I've learned a thing or two since then and grown a little bit also. In RE, I learned the basics, like treat others how you want to be treated and the importance of having respect for each and every person. In my 8th grade OWL, I learned a lot and my class really also bonded. The things we were learning and the class was so valuable to me. I didn't want to take it at first, but every week I was finally able to look forward to the normally dreary Sunday nights turning into fun, exciting, and valuable classes. To the parents out there, if your child does not want to take OWL, make them. They'll thank you later. Youth group is really where I feel as though I started to grow as a person. In freshman year, I was bullied pretty heavily, and by the time sophomore year rolled around, my confidence and self-esteem were at an all-time low. Things were looking down for me, and I just wasn't happy with who I was. Not because of who I truly believed I was, but because of how I was treated. But in youth group, it was different. I felt confident, and I felt as though I could really be myself. My real turning point was the fall con of my sophomore year, Constellations. I had a great weekend with new and old friends and felt comfortable in my skin. At Con, we do something called unconditional love, where half of the room closes their eyes and the other half hugs those whose eyes are closed, and then the roles are switched. During unconditional love, I thought to myself, I was tired of hating myself and not being happy with who I was. I was ready to move forward in my life with positivity, love, and acceptance. I was ready to start loving myself. From then on, it was easier to spread love and positivity into the world. While it hasn't just been smooth sailing from there, I really started to embody the values that come along with being a UU. Hanging out in youth group, overnights, cons, and our trip to Boston are some of my favorite memories. And I just want to say a big thank you to everyone in youth group for helping me grow as a person and just being your awesome selves. Next, I want to thank the RE, OWL, and coming of age teachers for teaching me valuable lessons and putting up with our feisty class. And lastly, I want to thank Heather, Justine, and the rest of the youth group supervisors for all you've done for us. It really means the world to me. I'm not positive where I'll be going next year, but I'm positive I'll be bringing my UU values, beliefs, and lessons I've learned throughout my journey. Thank you.
We call this a bridging ceremony because this transition is a crossing over from one way of being to another, from youth to young adulthood, from a familiar past to a new unknown. It's a time of mixed emotions, sadness and joy, possibility and hope, fear and excitement. And we have this bridge. This is our Unity Temple bridge for our seniors to symbolize and honor this transition. And during an in-person service, we have you walk over it. And then we have you sign it. You can see some of our friends who have graduated have signed it. And since we can't do that in person, at least I wanted to show it to you, and we will be able to bring it out when we can be together again. Joey, Brooke, Kevin, Ellie, Connor, Nick, and Colin. Our job as the Unity Temple community has been to give you roots and wings. We hope your time here has nourished you and given you a safe place to help figure out who you are, and will always feel like a place that you can return to. You will always be welcomed here with love. We know that you have all the tools and strength and courage to face the mixed up beauty and challenge of this life, and we hope that you will carry our love and affirmation with you wherever you go. I'm going to give you some gifts. Like I like to do on these occasions, I'll deliver them to you. One's a chalice that you can take with you wherever you go to remind you that your faith and our community will be with you always. And each of you will get a book of UU meditations to help remind you of what's most important. I'm going to stand in the middle of this bridge because it's such an in-between time now. You're ready to cross over, and you're going to have to do that in a strange and new way. And I know you're not finishing out high school the way that you imagine, but still, you're going to do that. I'm sorry that it is the way it is, and still we will get through this to the other side. In the meantime, know that you are enfolded so closely by my love and the love of the Unity Temple community.
Brooke, Colin, Connor, Ellie, Kevin, Joey, and Nick. Congratulations. Congratulations on bridging into adulthood. Congratulations to your parents. Congratulations to your advisors. And congratulations to all the teachers that you have had over the years. I'm sorry that you have to spend your last months of high school sheltering at home. And hearing from you today, I'm grateful and I'm inspired by the maturity that you have demonstrated, even if you don't always feel like an adult inside. As you embark on your journey into adulthood, I pray that you will hold close to the values that you have developed, and that if and when you need support, you will think of your Unitarian Universalist family here at Unity Temple or wherever your journey may lead. And through the good times and bad, may you know that there is a love that holds all that you love, and that you may rest in that love. And as you journey forth, take courage, for you are enough. You are not alone. And as I said before, you are loved. Blessings on your journey, and may you be a blessing to the world. Each week, we give our Sunday collection to an organization whose values are aligned with ours. This week, our collection is being taken for New Moms. New Moms transforms lives and creates strong families. You may donate directly to New Moms at newmoms.org, send a check to Unity Temple with New Moms in the memo line, or give by text to Unity Temple by following the directions in the live chat or on our webpage at unitytemple.org.
Notre vieille terre est une étoile, mais toi aussi tu brilles un peu. Je viens te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Je viens te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Tu n'as pas de titre ni de grade, mais tu dis tout quand tu parles à Dieu. Je viens te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Je viens te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Journaliste pour ta première page, tu peux écrire tout ce que tu veux. Je t'offre un titre formidable, la ballade des gens heureux. Je t'offre un titre formidable, la ballade des gens heureux. Toi qui as planté un arbre dans ton petit jardin de banlieue, tu viens te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Tu viens te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Il s'endort et tu le regardes. C'est ton enfant, il te ressemble un peu. On vient lui chanter la ballade des gens heureux. On vient lui chanter la ballade des gens heureux. Toi la sœur du haut de ta vague, descends vers nous, tu nous verras mieux. On vient te chanter la ballade des gens heureux. On vient te chanter la ballade des gens heureux.
Our time together ends, and the days before we come together again. May our actions match our words, may our thoughts be filled with love, and may we truly make a difference in the troubled world. Blessed be.
Standing on these mountains and plains, far away
make you think.